Every student wants success, but not every student is willing to do what success requires. There's a big difference between the average student and the top student. The difference is not just intelligence, it's discipline, habits, strategies, and mindset. Top students don't rely on luck. They don't wait for exam week to start cramming. They don't complain about how hard the subjects are. Instead, they create a system. They discipline their minds. They develop habits that set them apart. The truth is this: you don't have to be a genius to study like a top student. You don't need to be born with extraordinary talent. What you need is the willingness to learn and practice the principles that top students live by. And today, we are going to explore exactly how to do that. By the end of this message, you'll have a roadmap for studying smarter, deeper, and more effectively, not just for exams, but for life. Because studying like a top student is not just about school, it's about preparing yourself to stand out in every area of life. The mindset of a top student. Top students start with a mindset. They believe they can succeed. They believe that effort produces results. While average students say, "This is too hard," top students say, "How can I master this?" They don't let fear or doubt control them. They approach challenges with curiosity, not avoidance. When they fail, they don't see it as defeat. They see it as feedback. This growth mindset is the foundation of all their success. If you want to study like a top student, start by believing you can. Eliminate negative self-talk like, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this." Replace it with affirmations. I can improve. I can learn. I can achieve it. Consistency over cramming. Average students wait until exams are near to begin studying. They panic. They cram. They stay up all night and hope to remember something in the exam hall. But top students study consistently. They review lessons daily. They create study schedules that spread learning over weeks, not hours. They understand that the brain remembers best through repetition and reinforcement, not through panic-driven cramming. Think of studying like planting seeds. If you water the seeds daily, the plant grows strong. If you neglect it and then pour a bucket of water the night before harvest, consistency, not cramming, produces results. The power of active learning. Top students don't just read their books passively. They engage with the material actively. Instead of just highlighting words, they ask questions. Instead of memorizing blindly, they connect ideas. Instead of reading once, they summarize, rewrite, and teach it back to themselves. Active learning is powerful because it forces your brain to process information deeply. For example, after reading a chapter, stop and ask, "What is the main idea? How does this connect to what I already know? If I had to teach this to someone else, how would I explain it?" When you use active learning, you don't just memorize, you understand. And understanding lasts far longer than memorization. Time management. Top students value time. They don't waste hours scrolling through social media or procrastinating. They know that time wasted can never be recovered. They use study timetables. They prioritize their tasks. They break big projects into small pieces. They study during peak hours when their mind is most alert. If you want to study like a top student, master your time. Create a daily schedule. Dedicate specific hours to studying and guard them fiercely. Treat those hours like appointments you cannot miss. Remember, every wasted hour today is stolen from your future success. Focus and elimination of distractions. Top students know how to focus. They don't study with the TV on, their phone buzzing, or social media open. They eliminate distractions so they can give their full attention to the task. Focus is like a laser beam. When concentrated, it cuts through anything. But when scattered, it loses power. If you want to study like a top student, create a distraction-free environment. Put your phone away. Clear your desk. Tell yourself, for the next 50 minutes, it's just me and my books. You'll be amazed at how much you can achieve when your mind is undivided. Healthy study habits. Studying like a top student is not just about books. It's also about lifestyle. Top students eat well, sleep enough, and take breaks. They understand that a tired brain cannot learn effectively. They use techniques like the Pomodoro method. Study for 50 minutes, take a 10-minute break. They get 7-8 hours of sleep because they know the brain consolidates memory during rest. They exercise to keep their energy and focus sharp. Average students neglect their health, staying up all night, eating junk, and then wondering why they can't concentrate. Top students treat their body and mind as tools for success, asking questions and seeking help. Top students are not afraid to ask for help. They ask teachers, friends, or mentors when they don't understand something. They form study groups where they explain ideas to one another. They know that asking questions is not weakness, it's wisdom. Average students keep silent, pretending to understand, and then struggle alone. But top students know that collaboration accelerates learning. If you want to study like a top student, be humble enough to ask questions and wise enough to learn from others. Examples of top students. Albert Einstein said, "It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer." His persistence made him one of the greatest minds in history. Abraham Lincoln, before becoming president, would study law books late into the night by candlelight. His consistency paid off in wisdom and leadership. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, studied literature deeply while struggling through poverty. Her discipline in writing and revising gave her success that has inspired millions. These people were not born extraordinary. They became extraordinary through study and persistence. Overcoming procrastination. Procrastination is the enemy of top students. It whispers, "Do it later. You still have time." But later never comes. Procrastination steals time and replaces it with regret. Top students fight procrastination by starting immediately. They don't wait for the perfect moment, they begin. They break tasks into small pieces so it doesn't feel overwhelming. They reward themselves for progress. The secret is simple. Don't wait for motivation. Use discipline. Start now, and motivation will follow. Finally, studying like a top student is not about being a genius. It's about discipline, consistency, active learning, time management, focus, healthy habits, and persistence. It's about valuing your future enough to invest in your present. If you follow these principles, you will rise above average. You will not just pass, you will excel. You will not just dream, you will achieve. The choice is yours. Study like everyone else and live with average results, or study like a top student and live with extraordinary opportunities. And if this message inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to Motivational Dose for more empowering content. God bless you.